Terracorrupt.
Hey guys, do you want to play?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
What is it?
Get out of there, Tony! Go! Jump! No!
The Wii doesn't get much attention these days. So, for my 100 subscriber special, I wanted to do a video that honoured the best games on the Wii, to show people that, though it does have some stinkers, there are some quality titles on the console, including some of my favourite games of all time. Then it was suggested that I do a top 10 Wii games not developed by Nintendo. A challenge, but I accepted. Doing that list made it clear that I had not played a lot of the best games on the Wii. So fuck it, I'm gonna do 3 lists in one video. First, the top 10 Wii games not developed by Nintendo that I have played. Then the top 10 Wii games I want inside me right now. And finally, if you haven't turned off the video by then, the top 10 Wii games made by Nintendo. See you on the other side, I guess. I haven't played much of this game, only really at parties and stuff, but when I did play it I remember the fun that was being had just going to town on some zombie's face. It's almost as if the Wii was made for the light gun shooter genre, without the whole, light gun. The House of the Dead series is always a good time, whether you're typing or shooting, and you won't get much of a better experience of the series than on the Wii because, come on, would you rather use a Wiimote or the PlayStation Move? Don't answer that. Flame Shield Up. I didn't enjoy No More Heroes. I know, but it's still on this list because I can see what Suda51 was trying to do at the very least, and for the fact that lots of people seem to love this game, so it must just be me who's retarded. The premise of the game is fantastic, an otaku with a lightsaber who mows down a myriad of thugs to become the best assassin ever. I just think they missed the mark on the gameplay a tiny bit. That being said, I've heard its sequel fixed a lot of the issues, so there's hope still. Red Steel 1 was, well, shit. So when a sequel was announced I largely discredited it, until I saw the trailers. A completely redesigned aesthetic, centralising on a western look, and, thanks to the Wii Motion Plus, sword combat that actually worked this time. Besides Skyward Sword, this is how I imagined sword combat when the Wii was first announced. A massive, massive improvement over the painfully average Red Steel 1. It's rare to see true 2D games these days, so when I first picked up Muramasa, I had to marvel at the quality of the sprites and the world at large. But that's not what makes this game awesome. The combat is, to put it lightly, bonkers. There are literally hundreds of different swords, each with their own different traits and styles to use against hordes of enemies. This is how all combat in side-scrolling games should be. Crazy as fuck, but challenging enough for you to need to know what the fuck you're doing. Pity it's such a chore moving around the world though. I got Guitar Hero 3 for the Wii, therefore, in my eyes, it's a Wii game. It was my first Guitar Hero game, and I spent months practicing my uber lead skillery to epic tunage. Guitar Hero 3 has undeniably the best soundtrack in any Guitar Hero to date, from classics like Mississippi Queen to modern tracks like Knights of Sidonia. The key to this game is in the variety of rock tracks on selection. Into thrash metal? Slayer. Into emo shit? AFI. Into electronic music? An endless sporadic. Rock out and stuff. When you look at this game you think, oh, it looks kiddie and fun and easy. And that's the trap. I thought this game would be a novel puzzle game, but oh boy was I wrong. This shit's harder than any Professor Layton game I've ever played, and I literally feel like the stupidest man alive when I play a level and have no earthly idea of what to do. But that feeling of accomplishment you get when you beat a level is better than cocaine. A smart game with a very charming worldview and soundtrack. Pick it up if you like your brain teasers. When gaming history becomes a real subject, and professors recount the tales of Sonic the Hedgehog, people will remember Sonic Colors as the Phoenix Rising moment. That being said, I have a few issues with the game, but for the most part it had everything I wanted to see in a 3D Sonic game. From the bubbly music and fast-paced gameplay, combined with the awesome powers, Color seemed to get the majority of the game right for the first time in ages. And thank God, if this game wasn't well received, we might not have gotten Sonic Generations, and I would have smacked a bitch.
You're not Martin Luther King.
Fuck all y'all.
Dr. Dre.
Why is it, whenever I go to a game shop, all I see are copies of MADWORLD being sold for €5? This is a really, really good game. What more could you ask for beyond clubbing a dude into a dartboard, or throwing people into a wind turbine, or slicing someone up with a big fuck-off scissors? MADWORLD is just an amazingly fun time, with admittedly complicated controls, but that only reflected the amount of things you were able to do. It's the best stress reliever you can get on the Wii. For only €5, buy it next time you see it. Fuck this game. Seriously. Let's take a Silent Hill game and remove your weapons, so all you can do is run. Oh, and let's psychologically analyze you throughout the whole game, checking every step of the way to see what kind of person you are, on top of creeping you out every 2 seconds with things running after you. The biggest scare came at the end of the game, when the game literally reads back your psychological evaluation, based on how you played. That, other than the surface scares, is what makes this game scary as fuck. Everyone should play this game at least once. As I said in my top 10 PS2 games list, there would be no OKAMI on it, because I played it on the best console for it, the Wii. How to accurately sum up OKAMI? Beautiful will be too easy a word to use. Maybe exhilarating? I don't know, there's too much good in OKAMI to actually summarize. The massive world to explore, the innovative brush mechanics, the gorgeous art style, the oriental music. This game, man, this fucking game. I can't. I just can't.
Still with us? Okay, now it's time for...
Xbox for life!
As I was saying, now it's time for the top 10 Wii games I want inside me right now.
What makes me want to play this game straight away is its charming character design. The game itself looks like a cross between Animal Crossing and Pikmin, which sounds interesting enough for me to want to play it. I honestly don't know much more about this game other than the surface charm it has, so I hope it lives up to my expectations. Like I said before, I didn't enjoy No More Heroes 1. A major part of why is because of the parts in the city where you had to do those stupid jobs and stuff for money, and the horrible driving. According to my friends, No More Heroes 2 does away with all that, so suddenly my intrigue has been quit. Will it be better than the first one? I certainly hope so. What do you guys think is the better one? Resident Evil 4. But you can aim yourself. You can aim yourself! Just take my money! This game looks fucking cool. When I first saw it, I was blown away by how good it looks for a Wii game, and how badass the gameplay looks. I haven't seen much of it since because I want the experience kept pure. Once it goes down in price a bit, I'll have a more comprehensive opinion to give, other than, it's cool. A certain friend of mine is crazy about the KLONOA series, so much so that on my 20th birthday we finished KLONOA 2 while drunk. Ah, good times. I've heard mixed things when it comes to the Wii version of KLONOA, but the fact that a KLONOA game even exists on the Wii is enough for me to want to get it. Immediately. I can't compare it to the first game since I haven't played either. Hey, college takes a lot of time out of you, you know? Mickey Mouse 3D platforming game made by Warren Spector. I'm sold. How many decent fighting games are there on the Wii besides Brawl? I seriously can't think of any besides Tatsunoko vs Capcom. I want this more for the fact that it's a Wii exclusive Capcom fighter more than anything else. Beyond that, it looks like any other Versus series fighter, which of course are all awesome beans. I've never played a Monster Hunter game, so I figure the best place to start is with the most well-known home console one, seeing as I don't have a PSP. I've had this game described to me many times, and it sounds right up my alley. A massive open world game in which you slay epic beasts that are difficult as hell to kill? Yes, please. I might just wait to pick up the 3DS version though. Oh wait, that would require me having a 3DS. I need a job. Oh, this looks pretty. Oh, this has two of my favorite composers doing music. Oh, it has expansive environments and a real-time battle system. Just, here's my money. Oh yeah, I forgot. I have nothing. Hironobu Sakaguchi and Nobuo Uematsu. Immediately sold, before I even knew what this game was about. Now I'm in the process of figuring out how long I can live without food, so I can get this game and have play it. When I first saw the combat system for the game, I was blown away. Now I need to play it to see if it holds up in practice. This is looking like my Christmas present to me, so look for me raving about this game in the future. I much prefer 3D Mario games to 2D Mario games, more because the 3D games seem to have a grander scale and epic feel. That being said, sometimes you just like to chill out and play some classic Mario. I think that New Super Mario Bros. Wii is the definitive edition if you're looking for a classic style Mario game. It also makes playing with others super fun, if a bit infuriating when they play like a douchebag. Full of challenge and charm, it makes the number 10 spot in the Nintendo games list. While on the subject of definitive versions of games, this is the pure essence of what makes a good Kirby game. Multiplayer, various power-ups, challenging yet fun platforming action, and the charm that has become expected with every Kirby title. You know, I'm glad that even in this world of realistic first-person shooters and gritty games, that games like this are still being made. I would have ate this game up as a kid, and that makes me very happy indeed. I never played the other Paper Mario games, so forgive me for thinking that this game is amazing. If I had played ones previous, I'm sure I'd hate it just as much as you do. The flipping mechanic really opened up different ways of looking at the world, obviously, and solving puzzles. I also really loved the quirky humor used in the game, though I was freaking out when I got to Chapter 2-3. You know exactly why. Not your average Mario game, and that's what makes it cool. Yes, there will be lots of Mario on this list. No, you may not leave. Everyone knows Brawl. Everyone has played Brawl. I don't need to tell you about Brawl, you already know everything. My Wii has gotten most of its use from playing this game with friends. I mean, nothing is more special than kicking the shit out of your bestest buds with an anthropomorphic fox. For those out there who know me personally and have played Brawl with me or at my house, I have but one word for you. Omega. That is all. Super Mario Galaxy 2 is the result of developers who know the limits of their tools at hand, and try to push them as far as they can go, something I doubt they had time to do on Galaxy 1. In this respect, we got some of the most diverse and epic levels in gaming history in Galaxy 2. I prefer Galaxy 1 for reasons I'll explain later, but Galaxy 2 had everything and more in it. It also gets points for Yoshi and the last stage being infuriating as hell, to the point where I have still get that final star because fuck the Daredevil comet. Me and my good friend Wily Bobonut will forever remember Donkey Kong Country Returns as a game that tested our friendship. Not only because we kept on dying at inopportune moments, but more for the fact that I read Scott Pilgrim 6 aloud while he played World 6. My own personal memories aside, this game is one of the finest examples of 2D platforming ever created, and one of the most challenging. I'm talking Super Meat Boy hard. In my eyes, Retro Studios can do no wrong, and it's appropriate that I think of them as the new Rare, taking Donkey Kong into the future. Don't crash, don't crash. Skyward Sword has the best gameplay overall on the Wii. The Wii Motion Plus opened a whole new world of how to play a Zelda game, with the sword mechanics. Pity it came just as the Wii was bowing out. Skyward Sword was quite possibly my most hyped game of all time, and for that reason it only slightly disappointed me in some areas, but it largely stands as one of the best games in the series for its new kinds of level design and progression. I think anyone who's played it will agree with me on one thing, however. Fuck fighting Girahim. That dude is a douche.
The choice of the better Zelda game, as you can see, was a close one. If you're like me, Twilight Princess was the reason you bought the Wii, and you were not disappointed. While I prefer Wind Waker overall, Twilight Princess does have plentiful charm in itself. In particular, the cast of colourful characters. For a Zelda game, however, it is some of the most challenging dungeons in the series. I prefer it to Skyward Sword, mostly for its simple transport and better thought out side quests. Also, Minotrimp's fee on so many levels, it's almost unfair to compare them.
Mario Galaxy 1 had an unfair advantage over its predecessor in the fact that I had never seen a game like this when it first came out. I was expecting just another Mario game. What I got was a game that would inspire me as a game designer for the rest of my life. I can't for the life of me think of anything wrong with Galaxy. The gameplay, perfectly tuned. The graphics, superb. The music, holy shit, the music! What really makes Galaxy for me is that special moment I love, where all these things blend together into a seamless experience of pure joy. You must play this game before you die. What happens when you put 3 of the finest examples of video game software onto one disc? You get the best Wii game of all time. Packaging the 3 titles that make up the Metroid Prime trilogy must not have been an easy task, but I'm sure glad they did it. Metroid Primes 1 and 2 are meant for motion controls, so much so that I can't imagine playing them without them. I could go into why each game is amazing on their own part, but I'd be here all day. Perfect level design, finely tuned gameplay, and an atmospheric feel are found across the board, in one of, if not the most complete trilogy in gaming history. Good job, Retro Studios. Good job. Hey, thanks for making it to the end. If you like what you see, then be sure to hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment since I only really care about comments. Also be sure to follow me on Twitter or like me on Facebook for more goings on and other antics.